Beijing won the host of 2008 Olympic Games, all the Beijingers rushed to the Tiananmen Square to celebrate. This is Jack, and I'm actually a tour guide in Beijing. Men means gate in Chinese, and because originally there was a wall on the second Circle Road, and that was the old Beijing city's wall. But that wall was teared down for the second railroad. But still some gates remained, because there used to be many gates along the old city's wall. The municipal government of Beijing is trying to preserve the old part of the city. I was born in northeast of China. There was a city called Harbin. Beijing is also called the capital of bicycles. We have so many bicycles. And my town is very close to that city. Harbin is called ice city because it's very cold in winter. We have an ice covering each winter. People carve the ice and put the lights, colorful lights in the carving in the ice and turn it on in the night. It's pretty good, very beautiful.
You have to tell me how to say where's the bathroom. I went to the lobby this morning and I said, where's the bathroom? He showed me where the restaurant was. So
how to say? 洗手间.
洗手间?
Yeah.
洗手间?
Yes.
洗手间.
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 Yeah, good.
Okay, 洗手间. Good morning, Mr. Lee.
China is still a communist party. Communist.
Oh, the communist.
Yeah, communist. But in some fields, there are many private companies. Many things are private or becoming private. So I'm westernized. It seems for Chinese people, we know a lot about America, since we have so many news from your country. Probably, compared with Chinese people, Americans probably don't know too much about China.
Well, there are probably as many Chinese restaurants in America as there are here.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. You can see many old houses are teared down and new buildings are setting up. So there are many new apartments nowadays for the residents. But to be honest, most of the private apartments are very expensive for most of Chinese people. And the houses in Beijing are the most expensive in the whole China. Because the first important thing for a Beijinger is to buy a house. Second one is to buy a car. So the life nowadays got to be very competitive. You got to work hard and compete to get a better life. But originally was not like this. Some old people or some elderly people like to miss the old good days. Because we really are receiving many American cultures, especially the food and the movies, especially the movies. is writing, we have so beautiful country. We have so beautiful country. So the center of Beijing is actually in the Forbidden City, or Tiananmen Square. As Tiananmen Square is used to be the courtyard for the imperial family or for the emperor's family.
This is still rolling. Yeah? Hold this for a minute. Just look in there and point. You don't have to do anything. Just point.
Still recording?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't turned it off. Take a couple shots and let me get us a couple still.
So just press the red button and stop.
This is the
watchtower of the Great Wall. Sorry, the watchtower of the Forbidden City. We are now standing on the scenery hill in the Jingshan Park. And this park is just north to the Forbidden City. You can see from here actually, and we can see the whole city from this point. All the buildings in the Forbidden City are arranged symmetrically. Along the central axis, there were altogether 6 main buildings, which make up of the 2 important sections of the city. One is the political area, which is called the outer court. Another is the living quarters where the emperors and empress lived in ancient China, and that section is called inner court. And on both sides of the inner court, there were 6 eastern courts and 6 western courts where the concubines and the emperors lived. The Forbidden City was actually built in 1420 during the early of Ming Dynasty. This gate is actually called Meridian Gate because in ancient time the Chinese emperors believed the meridian line went through the center of the city. So they named the first gate of the Forbidden City the Meridian Gate. The ancient Chinese emperors believed that the heavenly kings lived in a purple palace. So he also named his palace the Purple Palace because it's forbidden to general people. That's why it's called the Purple Forbidden City. But nowadays it's just a big museum. You say cheese, right?
Cheese.
Oh, we say 茄子 in Chinese, which means eggplant.
Or eggplant. That's what it's called.
Eggplant. 茄子 in Chinese.
茄子.
From here we can see the most important political building in the Forbidden City, the Hall of Great Harmony, or the Hall of Supreme Harmony. There were altogether 308 big pots like that, and 18 pots are gilded with gold, and those pots were used to hold the water to protect the building from getting fire, since those palaces are all made from wood. It's very easy to get fire. And in winter, people had to burn some branches of trees under the pots to keep the water from freezing. Heads of dragons jut out of the terrace. They are rain spouts. You see the holes in the mouth? When it rains, the water come out of the holes of the mouth of the dragon heads. Incense burners. During the grand occasions, people would burn incense to create a kind of solemn atmosphere. In China, the dragon have 9 sons, so most of those animals are the sons of dragon. This room is made of sandalwood, which represented the power of the emperor. This building is made from wood. You may find it's supported by big pillars. No nails were used. But you can see some joints. The joints of bars made of wood stand on the beams, and the beams stand on the pillars. So the pillars support the whole building. And this is a very typical technology of ancient Chinese architecture. Those unit rooms on both sides of the political buildings were the places where the soldiers stayed. The Hall of Preserving Harmony, where the emperors held the palace exam. If the students passed the exam, they would get a scholarship called 进士 in Chinese. And after they got 进士, I should say their lives would be assured, because they may get a rank in the court of the Forbidden City, or they may be sent to the other provinces to be an official.
I'm a Chinese artist. My name Meng Qingxiu. I doing landscape. I study 18 years. Next year I'm going to San Francisco. My school have a painting exhibition show U.S. people. Then we want to invite the student to my school study Chinese art. I come from Xi'an. It's a very beautiful city.
The Palace of Heavenly Purity, where the emperors lived during the Ming and Qing dynasties. And there were actually 3 buildings in the inner court of the Forbidden City. The first one, the Palace of Heavenly Purity. The second one will be the Hall of Peace and Union. And the third one will be the Palace of Earthly Tranquility. Whenever we say heavenly, which always represented the emperor, and whenever we say earthly, which always represented the empress. Since in China we have one theory of yin and yang. So heaven is yang and earth is yin. The gold small pavilion on the terraces are like a silk burner. The people didn't only burn the incense but also burn the silk, especially during some worshipping ceremonies. And when the emperor prayed, they would like to burn some silk too. The layout of this building is very similar with the political building, the Hall of Great Harmony. There will be a big throne in the middle of this building, and there are some incense burners on both sides of the throne made of cloth and egg. All the men servants in the Forbidden City were eunuchs, the guys who had been castrated. And the reason might be that the emperor, had so many concubines and the emperor didn't want any concubine get an affair with other people. So there was a saying in ancient China, the emperor was the only real man in the Forbidden City. The Hall of Union, and the empress celebrated her birthday here. The Palace of Earthly Tranquility. So the empress lived here, and this palace was also the place where the emperor and empress spent their wedding night. So just one night, the emperor just slept here one night and he would move to his place. But originally, they didn't have glasses. They would use paper and silk. So we are heading to the Imperial Garden at the end of the Forbidden City. That's two trees packed together, so we call it Lover's Tree. It's one of the 4 season pavilions. Usually the emperor would come here and sit inside the pavilion by a table. He would like to play chess with his friend or officials. Also take some teas and Chinese cakes. The biggest incense burner in Beijing.
各位观众，故宫每天开放时间是上午8点30分到下午4点30分。现在入馆时间就要到了，请您按时进场。现在入馆时间就要到了。
The park we went this morning, Jingshan Park, or the Scenery Park. The north gate of the Forbidden City, and you can find 5 Chinese characters hanging there. That's the Palace Museum. So nowadays we call the Forbidden City the Palace Museum. The big moat of the Forbidden City, which goes all the way around the whole city to protect the Forbidden City with the 10-meter high wall.
$20. Actually, 25. No, that's no. I don't know. Very wood. I know. No, I really, I can't do this. I got Buddha here already. A bunch of Buddhas. Shut it! No, I don't know.
Here we are. This is the Popeyes on Wangfujing Street, Beijing. Oh, chicken biscuits. Ah, this is Nike. Nike store.